Okay, good morning everybody. Today we are going to look at what we call a model town board. And a model town board, we say it is a representation of road networks in Kenya and East Africa. So a model town board has three rules. Rule number one, use the shortest and the most correct route without using the parking rule. Route number two, use the longest and the most correct route without using the parking route. And then rule number three, we use the parking route as the last option. So a model town board has features. Features of model town board. This one here, we call it a traffic island. Then we have the roundabout. We have spaces or lanes that forms part of the roundabout. This one here, we call it a central reserve. We have a parking zone here. We also have another parking zone here. We have what we call a two-way traffic road, and we have what we call a one-way traffic road. Under one-way traffic road, we have what we call a major road and what we call a minor road. As you can see, the major road has 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes, and the minor road has 1, 2, 3 lanes. Then we have a pedestrian crossing here. On the pedestrian crossing, we have these white continuous lines here. We call them stop sign. We also have a stop sign here. This sign here is a giveaway sign. Those ones are giveaway signs, the dotted ones on the junctions or on the exits of this parking. We call them what? We call them a yield sign or giveaway sign. We have directional arrows that show us the direction of the movement of vehicles on each particular road. So we said this is a two-way traffic road and this is a one-way traffic road. What is the difference between a two-way traffic road and a one-way traffic road? In a two-way traffic road, the vehicles are moving in opposite direction. In a one-way traffic road, we have vehicles moving in the same direction. Two-way traffic road, it's divided by yellow line, dotted and continuous. One-way traffic road, we have lanes that are separated by white lines. So where we have the white continuous lines, it means you cannot overtake and you cannot change lanes. But where we have the dotted white lines, it means you can overtake and you can change lanes. Where we have yellow dotted lines, it means you can overtake so long as the road is clear. But where we have a yellow continuous line, it means you cannot do what? You cannot overtake. You are not allowed to overtake. The yellow markings on the pavement, we call them yellow curbs. And then the green parts, we call them vegetation, or you can say it's a public land. So those ones forms the features of a model town board. We talked about the parking here, and there's also another parking here. This parking, we call it angle parking, also known as ample parking or control parking. And then we have a flash parking here, or parallel parking, or uncontrolled parking. So let's look at the rules that govern somebody when you are joining the roundabout and you are exiting the roundabout. If you find yourself in lane 1 major road, you only have two options of joining here and exiting. So our first option is to join roundabout lane 1 and go straight. Our second option is join roundabout lane 1 and turn left. You find yourself in lane 2, you only have one option. Join roundabout lane 2, go straight, exit lane 2. You find yourself in lane 3, you only have two options. Join roundabout lane 3, go straight, exit lane 3. Or join roundabout lane 3, turn right, exit lane 2. When you're coming from major to minor, you less 1. So from lane 3, 3 minus 1, we exit here with lane number 2. If you're coming from lane 4, 4 minus 1, we will exit using lane number 3. But now lane 3 here only has those two options. Either you go straight or you turn right, you exit minor of lane number 2. Lane 4 now has 4 options. For demonstration, let me use a number of toy cars. And here we can employ a formula. We can use the angles, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and the last one is 360 degrees. Or we can use a formula that we formed known as LUOC. L-U-O-C, meaning the first option is an L turn. You make an L turn, or 90 degrees. 0 degrees, 90 degrees. The second option is 180 degrees or U-turn. So we make a U. It is a U-turn, or 0 degrees, 90, 180. The third option is 270 degrees or an O-turn. So it's 0, 90, 180 to 70 degrees, and then we have a complete turn, also known as 360 degrees. Then we go to minor road. Minor road lane 1 also has two options. Join on about lane 1, go straight, or join on about lane 1, turn left. Lane 2 again has only one option, on about lane 2, exit lane 2. And then lane 3, now we have 5 options. 5 options, you can use the formula of angles: 0 degrees, 90 degrees, another 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and then to 70 degrees. We do not have a complete turn here. So again, we need to note that this is the only lane that uses both lane 3 and lane 4 of the roundabout. When we're in major road, lane 1 uses lane 1 of the roundabout, lane 2, lane 2, lane 3, lane 3, and lane 4, lane 4 of the roundabout. In minor road, lane 1 uses lane 1, lane 2, lane 2, but lane 3 is the only lane that uses both lane 3 and lane 4 of the roundabout. Our first two options uses lane 3 of the roundabout. The remaining options uses lane 4 of the roundabout. So our first two options, we can use a formula known as SLUO, S-L-L-U-O. Meaning the first one, you go straight, use lane 3, go straight, followed by an L turn, turn right, make an L turn, exit major road lane 3. Third option, now we are using lane 4 of the roundabout, you make an L turn, and then we have a U-turn, and then we have an O-turn, or 270 degrees. So those are the options of each and every single lane when you are approaching and exiting the roundabout. Now talking of the roundabout, there are rules that governs the roundabout. Rule number 1, there is no stopping. Number 2, there is no parking. Number 3, there is no reversing. Number 4, there is no changing lanes. And then number 5, there is no overtaking. Those are the rules of the roundabout. The yellow markings we said is called yellow caps. They also have rules. There's no stopping, no parking, no waiting. The parking also, we have rules for the parking. If you're the first person to come here, we start parking from the farthest end. That is rule number 1. Rule number 2, how do we park? We park with the forward gear. And how do we exit? We exit using a reverse gear. And most importantly, we only park saloon cars. In angle parking, again, we start parking from the farthest end. This time round, how do we park? We park with the reverse gear. We exit with the forward gear. We park all types of vehicles except trailers and tractors. So remember those rules so that you do not forget about, you do not confuse about the rules. We have the first rule of roads in Kenya, which states that always keep left unless you are overtaking. And then we have rules of the model turnboard. Use the shortest and the most correct route without using the parking route. Use the longest and the most correct route without using the parking route. And then use the parking route as the last option. That means if you are driving a toy car from one point to another, you need to figure out which one is the shortest and the most correct route without using the parking route. Okay? Stop and give way, join the immediate lane, shift lanes to lane 3, stop and give way, join lane 3, stop and give a distance of 70 meters. So our first rule, you need to figure out which one is the shortest and the most correct route. So unless the shortest route is not applicable, then you find the longest and the most correct route. Again, unless the longest route is not available, that is when we use the parking route as the last option. Okay? So I think that is all about the model turnboard. See you in the next class.